Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Gavinski's Tutorials. Today I'm going to look at how you can use a touchscreen controller. So even if you don't have an MPE, like a hardware MPE keyboard, you could play TAL-U-NO-LX in a very expressive way using a touchscreen MPE controller. So this is a beautiful Juno clone. It's very highly regarded. It's available for Mac, Windows, Linux, and iPad. I think iPhone as well, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't use iPhone. So here I've got it on my iPad loaded inside the host app AUM. Now, the thing is, this does have its own keyboard, which can be MPE, but I don't like that keyboard. I don't like the way the pitch bend works. It's like it's snapping to things too quickly. I don't know. I don't get on with it at all. I prefer to use another controller. I like using this app Salome if I'm doing drone music and I want an MPE controller. Listen to this. So here I'm getting per note volume control and per note pitch bend. And listen to this synth, it's beautiful. So totally per note, right? And per note pitch bend, gorgeous. So this is so much more expressive than just using a regular keyboard. So this is the great advantage of MPE. And the unfortunate thing is, first of all, that even though, you know, most people have, or many people anyway, have an iPad or an iPhone, very few synths are MPE. That's the first problem. Second problem, a lot of synths they say they have MPE, but it's actually a really crap implementation. And if you're someone who likes MPE, it's often a really horrible experience when you get something that claims to be MPE, but it's just not that good. So a few years ago when I got TAL-U-NO back in 2021, I didn't really think that much of the MPE implementation, and now it's a lot better. So I'm going to look at how we can set that up. So if you're using a hardware MPE controller, this will be useful for you. If you've got like an iPad or whatever, and you're using a touchscreen MPE controller, this will be useful for you. So let's jump in here. So the first thing, if you see up at the top of the UI here, it says MPE. So that's because this is lit up because I've turned MPE on. If I turn it off, you can see the keyboard changes, and this is no longer lit up, right? So I turn this on. Now there are two little knobs here. One's called MPE1, and one's called MPE2. We'll look at those in a bit more detail in a minute. Any changes that you make here, it's not actually going to make any difference to anything unless you dial things in a certain way here. So if you look at the controls section, here we're setting up the modulation. So there are three important sliders for MPE controllers here. So one is this, which will allow you to open up filter cutoff with your MPE instrument. Another one will give you per note volume control with an MPE instrument. And this one here will let you control the depth of the LFO here using your MPE instrument, right? So I've got this one all the way down. I don't really personally use this very much. Usually what I do is I put both of these up full. So I've got full control over the filter envelope cutoff and the velocity per note, right? And then the important thing is you go to this section, you have to set this up in a way that's going to work with your controller. So if you have, for example, a C board, two of the very important MPE messages that sends would be pressure messages and timbre messages. On a C board, how hard you press a note that is sending pressure messages. And when you move up the keys, right, vertically, that is sending timbre messages. So what we're doing here is, if I leave these knobs like the way they are here, this default, they're both all the way to the left, right? So I haven't dialed this in at all. If I leave them like this, then here they're set up to take pressure messages. If I put this all the way to the right, it's going to take timbre message, not pressure. If I put it in the middle, it's going to be 50-50 and so on. So you can dial things in exactly, right? Now, so you're going to want to know what your MPE controller sends. You can use a MIDI monitor to do that if you want. So here I've got a MIDI monitor. And if I look here and if I play this, and if I go up on the Y-axis, you can see it's sending CP. That means channel pressure, right? So I know that this MPE controller is just sending channel pressure messages. It's not sending CC74. It's not sending timbre at all. So I'm just going to leave these like this, all the way to the left. I'm just going to be dealing with pressure, not with timbre. Here, this little pressure skew, this will change the curve. It's by default, it's like this, linear. I like to bring it down like this. This makes it easier to start quietly. If you put it like this, it's going to be much harder to play very quietly. So I prefer it like this. Okay, now here there's a setting for timbre, if it's bipolar or unipolar. I'm not using timbre messages, so I've got it off. Whether this is useful to you will depend on your MPE controller. Not all would send this kind of bipolar timbre message anyway. Rise speed and fall speed, these are useful. Have a listen to this. So here, if I move up and down quickly, the filter and the volume will go up and down very quickly. If I bring these up like this, this filter will close much more slowly and open much more slowly. So let's just put them something like that, for example. If you turn on lock here, by the way, it will preserve these settings when you change presets. So if we look here, because this Salome, this is only sending pressure messages, right? It's only sending pressure messages. So I've just used that to control both the cutoff for the filter and the velocity. But if you had a C board, for example, the way you would set it up probably would be you would use pressure to control volume, and you would use Y-axis movements, moving vertically up a key. You would use that to open and close the filter. So if you had a C board, you would probably set it like this, for example. So if it's set like this, your Y-axis movements would open the filter and your pressure would control the volume. Now you can do it whatever way you like, right? But that's how I would probably do it. I would probably just set it like that. Again, adjust to taste. I'm going to put it back like this to go back to using Salome. Let's look at this LFO setting. So here, this means mod wheel, right? This means pitch wheel. So mod wheel can also be used to do this. But here we're just using it for the MPE setting. So if I bring this all the way up, it's very full on, right? Now, then obviously if I change the rate here, it's going to change how that sounds. So I would never bring this all the way up. I'd maybe just dial in a little bit. Right? So The other thing, did I say this already? I've done a few takes here. This is not my first, so maybe I've said this already in this video. I'm not sure. The thing about Salome is it wasn't originally designed as an MPE controller. It's designed as an MPE sampler. So it has this, it only has 4 octaves, which when I'm using it as a sampler, I always feel is enough. But when I'm using it to play synths, it's often not enough. And so that's why I send it through this app Rosetta scaler if I want to pitch it up or down. So the way I've got this set up here, this one is not going through this. So this one here, that's the original pitch, right, for this note. If I bring up this instance here, I'm playing the same note. Was it that one? And you can hear it's 2 octaves higher, right? So that's because I'm sending it through this. And I've put this up 24 semitones. So that's also a useful thing to know. I hope you find this video useful, everyone. I'm so glad that this now is much better. The MPE implementation in this, it's far better than it was. I'll definitely be using this because it's a really gorgeous sounding synth. I'm so happy it got that update. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope this was useful for you. Hope you're well. Take care and see you in the next video. Take it easy.